What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I thought I would share my current class setups that I really like using in Black Ops 3. This is just my personal take after prestiging about 7 times on both consoles put together. Keep in mind, classes are constantly evolving throughout the year, things will always change, and even between games, I'm still making little tweaks to these classes, or I'll switch out guns because I'm trying to use as much variety as possible. Maybe I'll swap out a couple perks or pieces of equipment, so just keep in mind, these classes aren't necessarily set in stone, but I wanted to give you guys an indication of what I'm enjoying using right now in Black Ops 3. Let's get into it. Alright guys, let's kick it off with my go-to SMG class. This is the class I basically pull out every time I start struggling and I want to be really aggressive and in the enemy's face. I have the VMP with quick draw and stock, and I will explain the quick draw in a little bit. XM53 launcher, the concussion grenade, flak jacket, fast hands, awareness, and tac mask. This is an excellent class for dealing with pretty much whatever situation you run into. I like running this if I run into a difficult party or something like that, because I can just get right in the enemy's face and I can win a ton of gunfights very confidently with this class. So the reason I'm running quick draw is because I'm also running fast hands. If you combine the two, it's very advantageous. If you only have one or the other, it can help in some situations, but it's not helping you a lot as you're coming out of sprint when you run into enemies, which is going to be happening a lot with this class because I'm going to be very aggressive with it. Also, for the stock on there, if you guys haven't seen my quick tip about the stock already, just in case you weren't aware, the stock on SMGs makes you an extremely difficult target to hit and makes it so you can win gunfights so much easier. It makes your enemies look like they're clueless when they're shooting at you. As for flak jacket, this one's a given. I think this is literally on every single one of the classes I'm going to be sharing today because I play objective game modes and I don't like dying to grenades and stuff like that. Fast hands, like I explained earlier, you come out of sprints a little bit faster, plus I can throw my concussion grenade that little bit faster, and I can switch to my XM53 to take out UAVs. For awareness, this is a perk that is kind of a crutch perk for me at the moment. I'm thinking about starting to wean myself off this perk and reduce my reliance on it, but at this point in the game's life cycle, I'm taking all the advantages that I can get, and awareness gives me a huge advantage when I'm rushing and getting right up close to enemies. So that's why I run it on a lot of my classes. And tactical mask. This is just great for those objective game modes. This is the class I pull out when things aren't going my way. So a lot of times when things aren't going your way, there's a lot of stun grenades and stuff on the map, and it's just really nice to have that tactical mask perk. Now keep in mind, with this class, I do several variations of this particular class. As you can see right here, here's my Kuda class. And with this one, I'm running quick draw and extended mags. I've got the exact same perk setup, and instead of the concussion, I have a thermite. This just gives me something that's better suited to different situations. So if I feel like I don't want a concussion grenade and I really want a thermite, but I want that SMG class still, then I'll swap to this one. Also, just another variation where I change up some of the perks as well. I keep that concussion grenade. We use the Vesper with extended mags and stock. And then I'm rocking dead silence and awareness as well as hardwired. I just find this is a great class for getting it up close to the enemies. It's a slight variation on the previous classes. It does have a few things that are a little bit different. Maybe my enemies are really running Sixth Sense and really relying on that, so I can adapt and use this hardwired class with dead silence as well, just in case they're also using awareness. So I kind of group those all into one particular class. This is still all one class to me. It's just several variations of that one class. So next up, we have my stealthy class. I really like using this class on more of the larger size maps where I can really get onto enemies' flanks and stuff. And this one's great. It's the KN-44 with a suppressor and quick draw. We have a black cell launcher. Our tactical is a concussion grenade. Again, we have flak jacket, running hardwired, awareness, and dead silence. This one is just excellent for getting on the enemy's flank. I don't use ghost on this. It's not a full stealth class. It's just very stealthy. So I still have to be aware of enemies' UAVs. And that's just one of the sacrifices I've made with this class. I purposely chose this. This is why I kept a black cell on there as well. So if I really need to, I can shoot that UAV down. But I love using this class for getting around the enemy's flank and getting up close and personal while staying off the minimap unless they have a UAV up. The nice thing about this class as well is the KN-44 with a suppressor is still a very viable face-to-face gunfight sort of gun. So if I do have to adapt into more of an objective role, this is why I keep flak jacket on there. I can easily adapt to that. I can jump on that B flag, and I can still comfortably challenge enemies that know exactly where I am, and I can challenge them face to face. So it's just a very versatile half stealth class. Moving on to the next class, this is my MLG Tryhard sort of class, or at least like hybrid public match MLG Tryhard class that I use. This one I usually pull out if I run into a really tough party that are obviously very high level players. They are excellent, they have excellent shots, and they're just basically on point with everything. This is what I pull out to compete with them when I'm on the sort of larger size maps with longer lines of sight. So I really like using this one on Breach or Infected, or there's several other different maps that I'll use this on. It's kind of the alternative to that VMP class that I'll pull out when I'm really struggling and there's a lot of long lines of sight that I feel like I need to shut down. So this class is the M8 with the recon sight, which, just in case you guys didn't know, the recon sight has almost zero idle sway, like no noticeable idle sway with the M8, so you can just be right on point with your shot with that. Also, it increases your center speed a little bit, so it actually keeps your group a little bit tighter with the M8. And I'm also running quick draw. I like running quick draw on assault rifles pretty much all the time, so it's kind of a crutch that I have with assault rifles, but I'm totally fine with it because it works for me. We have a black cell launcher because usually when you're coming against parties like this, they're putting up streaks and stuff, so you want to be able to shut their streaks down as much as possible to shut down their momentum. For lethal, we have thermite, and then I have 2 concussions as well. This is just an excellent class. If I really need to bombard them with concussions and thermite, I can easily do that. Again, we have flak jacket, which is on every one of these classes. Fast hands, I just find it's useful for throwing that equipment really quickly, swap into your black cell, as well as coming out of sprint and being able to aim down sight as fast as possible. That's why I'm also running quick draw on the assault rifle. And finally, my crutch perk, awareness. Next up, we have my LMG class. I absolutely love the Dingo. I feel like this gun is really underrated, and if you haven't really given it an honest shot yet, I highly recommend giving it a try. It kind of feels like an assault rifle with 80 rounds in the magazine. It is amazing. So it does aim down sight a little bit slower than assault rifles. This is why I'm rocking quick draw on there. Also, I'm using grip. Just because it has a little bit more recoil than the other LMGs, it's still great up to like a mid-range without a grip, but add that grip on there and suddenly you can now compete with the other LMGs at the longer ranges. We have a black cell launcher on this one as well. We have a Semtex. Again, we have flak jacket and fast hands. And then finally, we have awareness and tactical mask. This is just one of those classes where if I'm playing on a map with somewhat longer lines of sight, but I still want to be relatively aggressive, and I want to have a ton of magazine capacity, I love pulling this class out for that, especially in Safeguard. I love this class for Safeguard simply because I can get right up close to that robot. I can take out several enemies at a time before having to reload. I'll actually show a clip right here from one of the previous live streams where I got a mega kill with this Dingo because I simply didn't have to reload and my shot was just on point. It just felt so good, and this is why I really enjoy using this class. It's good up close, it's great at a mid-range, and it's decent at long range. Now finally, I'm going to share my favorite shotgun class here. You guys have seen a very similar class in the past with this, and that is the Argus with quick draw. We have the XM53 launcher. I like using the XM53 instead of the black cell in this scenario. That way, if I do miss a shot with the Argus and I feel like I don't have time to rechamber or something like that, or maybe they're just outside of my range and I'm just desperate, I can whip that XM53 out and possibly get a kill with the launcher. We have 2 concussion grenades on this class, which is great to close that distance just in case you need to. We have flak jacket again, fast hands, awareness, and tactical mask. Pretty standard class. You'll notice there's a lot of really similar trends you see with all of these classes, and those trends are basically like flak jacket, fast hands, hardwired, tactical mask, dead silence, awareness. Those are the perks that I use. Those are the ones I stick to. Also, concussion grenades. If I'm going to be using a tactical, it's almost always going to be a concussion grenade. And lethal, I really like thermite, but I don't mind Semtexes and frags as well. So overall, I really enjoy this class. You do have to be very precise with it. A lot of people wonder why I don't use an optic on the Argus because they think it'll help with precision, which for some people it will, but for me personally, I just find I'm more accurate when I use the iron sights. I don't know why, but I just feel better without the optics. So there you have it. Those are my top 5 favorite classes at the moment. Like I said at the beginning of the video, these classes are not set in stone. They're constantly changing and evolving. Based on challenges or just what I'm feeling like at that given time. So I don't necessarily recommend to just copy these classes like perk for perk and everything and then lock that down and never change it again. No, play around with things a little bit. This is more just to give you an indication of what I've been using lately. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.